If you guys remember last time we talked about a zero down payment loan to get into a place. And our last thing that we talked about was house hacking or house sharing. Today we're going to talk a little bit about that. What do you think about house hacking? That's like a new thing. It's like
I love it. Yeah, it's
trending.
really popular right now.
Yeah.
Because homes are more expensive, rates are more expensive. Like, how am I going to cover this payment? But the thing is like you and everybody you know needs somewhere to live. Mm-hmm. And if you and a few people you know don't necessarily like where you live, mm-hmm. you might want to look into living in the same place.
Yes.
So, like earlier this week, I had a guy come in. He was young 20s. He's a firefighter, making pretty good money. I mean, really good money for in his young 20s, but qualifying to buy a house, he doesn't get much. So he'd be buying a small home in the rural area or a condominium somewhere else. But if he pairs up with one of his buddies, you can get a much bigger house. The other thing you can do is buy a house it costs more than you want it to. But the great thing about this is the value of the home appreciates. Mm-hmm. So if you buy $1 million home and you get 5% appreciation, you've picked up $5,000 in a year. No, $50,000 in a year.
Yes, that's
if you buy $1 million home at 5% appreciation, you picked up $50,000 in a year. If you buy a $100,000 home and you have 5% appreciation, you get $5,000 in a year. So if you can buy more home, even though it may be a little crunchy on your own, get it and then have roomies move in.
Yeah. And right now there's a lot of going on about the ADUs, which is an additional dwelling unit. So basically your basement apartment or mother-in-law apartment becomes legal and you can rent it to whoever you want to if the owner is living in the house. Mm-hmm. And so those have been like great, and it's a great way to first save money and get into a bigger house that right now, I mean, you might not live on the whole house, but maybe in the future after your family grows and you get a better job or, you get a better pay or whatever it is, and you already have a big house. You don't have to go and do the change and the instability that kind of does when you have kids and you have to change them for school. And so, it's a good thing, like Jason was saying. If you feel a little stress about the change or the increase on the payment, be sure that there is going to be a cushion, which would be the person that is renting for you.
Yeah. The other great thing about the ADUs is a lender can use the rent you receive on that accessory dwelling unit to help qualify for the loan.
Yeah, I heard that plan, and it's just like amazing because you think that you can't qualify for the house, but then that income that doesn't even need to be there helps you to qualify for that house, right? Yeah. Like you don't even have to rent it to get that extra help, right? Yeah. I mean, you want to rent it because you don't want your house to be foreclosed or anything like that, but it's always great to have that. Another of the cool things that you do, a lot of people think, oh no, I don't want to have renters downstairs or in the basement or in the attic or wherever the additional unit is. But if you think about it, you as landlord, you're gonna be close to them, so it's way easier than having them in a different apartment or a different place. So because you're there, they will take good care of your house and they won't be, doing things that they shouldn't.
It's a lot more likely, right? And you'll probably hear it.
Yes. Yes. If something's happened, you are going to hear about it, either from the neighbors or, or even you. You can figure out easy on that.
Yeah, the house hacking. Always check with the local municipality or any HOAs to make sure you're staying within their guidelines.
Yeah.
But I've got a buddy who bought a townhome, and within a few months, he was bringing in enough rents that he didn't need to make the payment. Yeah. He didn't have to earn money to pay it because his buddies were paying his home mortgage for him.
Yeah. And there's a lot of this places, especially in Provo, near the trees area, which is an area that everybody wants to live there. But it's really interesting because they drew weird lines. So if you're buying in that area, check, because some houses are able to, but then the next door neighbor is not. So double check. This is important to not have to have a fine because we don't recommend those things.
Yeah. The other really neat thing is with this house hacking thing, we talked about the zero down or low down in another video. But if you're buying a house with your buddies, everybody's rent deposit can become the down payment. You can share or you can do divisions of equity when you bring in more buyers. You say, okay, you guys are going to cover the down payment, and so you'll get this percentage of the equity when we sell, and this is how we're going to divide up the monthly payment. You know,
Yeah.
there's a lot of good options to get you into a home sooner when you're buying with friends.
I had an experience like that not so long ago. There was this house on 12th West in Orem, and it was really pretty. They remodeled it, and it was like really nice. It had a kitchenette in the basement and like 3 rooms, a bathroom. And the guy that bought it was a UBU student. And he was about to finish, and when he went to see the house, he was just like, oh, this is perfect. I asked him why, and he's like, well, because it has enough rooms that I will get my payment done, and like all my buddies from UBU will pay me rent. And I mean, he's doing that. He still owns the house, and you know, he doesn't have any problem with that, and he always have it rented because it's so close to UBU, and so makes it easier. It's smart, and you save money there too. So stay tuned for our next video.
And if you have any questions or comments, episodes that you'd like to see, put them in the comments.
Let us know.